My writing career unofficially began at McLean Hospital, the psychiatric affiliate of Harvard Medical School in Belmont, Massachusetts. It was the summer of 1965, and I was 18, fresh out of high school. I needed a job, any job, and McLean was hiring. I spent a good part of the next 5 years at this mental hospital. That's where everything changed about how I saw the world and probably how I saw myself. I wasn't a patient, I swear. Not that I have anything but the highest regard for mental patients. I just wasn't one of them. Besides, back then I couldn't have afforded a room at McLean, not even space in a double room. I was a psych aide. I think I was hired because I have empathy for people. You'll be the judge of that. The heart of the job was to talk to patients and, more important, to listen to them. Occasionally, patients tried to hurt themselves. My job was to try and stop that from happening. In addition to my usual daytime shift, I worked 2 or 3 overnight shifts a week from 11 p.m. until 7 in the morning. Most nights, I just had to watch people sleep, which isn't that easy. I'd never liked coffee, but I started drinking the awful stuff just to make sure I stayed awake, since there were usually patients on suicide watch at Bowdish or East House in the maximum security wards where I regularly worked. For hour-long stints, I had to sit outside their rooms, watching them flop around in bed, listening to them snore, while I fought off sleep at 3 or 4 in the morning. So I had a lot of free time. I started reading like a man possessed during those long, dark nights of other people's souls. 2 or 3 times a week, I'd go the 3 miles or so into Cambridge and make the rounds of the secondhand bookstores. I especially loved tattered, dog-eared books that had been well-loved and showed it. The used books cost me a quarter, occasionally $1. Even for thick novels like The Satwe Factor, The Golden Notebook, The Tin Drum. At the time, I wasn't interested in genre fiction, the kind of accessible stuff I write. I had no idea what books were on the New York Times bestseller list. I was a full-blown, know-it-all literary snob who didn't really know what the hell he was talking about. My ideas about how the world was supposed to work had been framed growing up in Newburgh, New York, and the somewhat parochial outer reaches of Orange County. As I read novel after novel, play after play, my view of what was possible in life began to change. That first summer at McLean Hospital, I read a lot of James Joyce and Gabriel Garcia Marquez, plus as much of Henry James as I could stomach. I was into playwrights: Samuel Beckett, Harold Pinter, Ionesco, Albee, Israel Horovitz. I read novelists like John Rechy and Jean Genet. Our Lady of the Flowers will really get you thinking. Also Jerzy Kosinski and Roman Gary. I loved comedic American novelists. Stanley Elkin and Thomas Berger got me laughing out loud. So did Bruce J. Friedman, John Cheever, Richard Brautigan, Vonnegut. But the novel that influenced me most was Evan Connell Jr.'s Mrs. Bridge, the story of an ordinary middle-class family living in Kansas City. Mrs. Bridge is told from the point of view of India Bridge, a wife and mother. A companion novel published 10 years later, Mr. Bridge, tells the same story from the point of view of Walter, her curmudgeonly lawyer husband. A reviewer in the New York Times wrote, Mr. Connell's novel is written in a series of 117 brief, revealing episodes. The method looks and is rather unusual. It enables any writer who uses it to show, with clarity and compactness, how characters react to representative episodes and circumstances.